We have to shift gears here almost immediately, Dave. Our next guest is up. Cody Koehler is here in the house. He's worn a lot of hats over 21 years in the logistics industry. He's created driver bids. He's loaded trucks. He's seen and done most things that the industry has to offer, and he's joining us now. He's had the pleasure of working with leaders in the supply chain industry on Supply Chain Industry Appreciation Day for many Fortune 500 companies as well as small and mid-level companies. I'm going to let him kind of give us his own origin story. Cody, welcome to the show for the first time. Welcome to Nemo Nation, and good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you with us. I've saw a couple of the podcasts that you do and that you're on. And one of the things that I think we can kind of jump into is automation. In terms of produce. And I've always kind of felt, and kind of see if you can feel where I'm coming from here. I'm a human. I'm looking at a piece of fruit. It's a living thing. I mean, you could say, well, it's dead now, but you know what I'm saying. It's a living thing. I'm a living thing. So we have that connection. So now I have a robot over here who's not a living thing, and I'm not saying you, but you're telling me that robot will know more about how to pick out that peach than you, and you've been eating peaches all your life. This is something old, but yet all of a sudden new again. It's kind of to me, it's kind of strange to have machines interacting with these living entities, the fruits and vegetables. And again, I know they're not living and breathing, but you kind of see where I'm coming from, I hope.
And good morning, by the way. Cody.
Yeah, and good morning, by the way. We kind of jump in here.
Yeah, I mean, automation obviously is the wave of the future, right? I mean, if you look at anything, not just our industry, automation is kind of the key to everything. I think our industry is a little late to the game, but it's pretty cool, some of the automation that they're rolling out, from automating warehousing to automating in-store picks. For those of you who shop online and have your groceries either delivered or ready for you by the time you get there. And I was kind of in the same boat. Trust me, like the last thing I wanted was somebody to pick out my steak, right? Mm-hmm. I'm super particular about my steak, my avocados, and my tomatoes, but it's really cool. And I think everybody has to jump on to the automation bandwagon at some point in time. But it's a hard concept, especially for us who are probably over 30, that a robot can do the things that we've always grown up and done. And to your point, like, are they going to know how to pick an avocado or a tomato like the way that I like it, right? Probably not. So you either got to get used to it or continue to do things the old way, I guess.
I wanted to kind of let people know, too, AandZtrucking.com. Yep. Cody, by the way, also hosts a podcast that is centered around the fresh produce supply chain and the logistics industry. So that's kind of my follow-up question to all of that. So I'm kind of a futurist in that I believe that I'm not this person who thinks that all of these newfangled technologies are going to put everybody out of work, because after all, don't forget the fact that when the first engine shows up at the turn of the last century, everybody's going to be out of a job in 5 minutes, and somehow jobs continue. If, in fact, this becomes the wave of the future, where do you see in your own kind of creative mind with this freeing up space for different kinds of work? What role do people have to play in the supply chain if this stuff starts getting taken care of? Where do the jobs go? I don't think they go away. They just become other things. Where do you see your crystal ball taking that?
Yeah, that's a great question, actually. One of my last episodes I had with Justin Johnson, who's the vice president up at Associated Food Stores in far west Utah. I think they're about 1.5 million square foot warehouse that services about 500 retailers. What he was talking about was the shift in jobs from, traditional order selectors, because they're automating their warehouse up there. So it's actually like small robots that are going through the entire warehouse, picking cases, building pallets for them so that their loaders can load the trucks. But he was talking about a shift in labor from more of the manual style jobs, like an order selector, like an aisle fork, to running these robots. The robots do need people behind the scenes still to make sure that the programs are functioning correctly, that the robots themselves are functioning correctly. So I see more like highly educated jobs and higher paying jobs, quite frankly, versus more of the manual labor. We see it on the fresh produce side as well from the field perspective, right? There's not people traditionally anymore, like actually out there physically planting plants anymore. It's machines doing it for them. They're moving that way towards some machines that are harvesting as well. And I think that's probably where the labor is going to shift, is more of a technical aspect when it comes to the jobs instead of the manual.
It's interesting too because and by the way, I asked the question because I heard that conversation. I was curious though to kind of figure out if in fact we're seeing a trend towards what I'm calling light blue collar jobs, in the sense that there's this kind of hybrid between people who do manual work and people who do desk work and do computer work as well too, so that what people need is the kind of skills where they have an associate's degree, where they can fluently speak Spanish, they have a 1-year certificate from a coding, a place where they can learn to code, and they put together a package for themselves that allows them to kind of be able to be a master of all trades, to kind of be able to exist in the space in this light blue collar place where they're doing both maintenance, but they're also doing behind the scenes work that requires a certain level of intellectual writing skills and soft skills as well. Is that where you see these jobs kind of going?
I do, absolutely. And if you look at the labor pool that we have now, probably the last 10, 15 years, you can see a lot of that shifting away. The manual labor positions are less desirable. I don't know about you guys, but when I grew up, there was no talk in school about working in a warehouse or driving a truck. None of that was ever glamorized, like being a lawyer or being a doctor or anything like that. They didn't even recruit for that. I grew up in Utah. I live down here in Phoenix now, and ASU actually happens to have a really good logistics program, but logistics was never really pushed on people when they were younger. And so I think that those type of jobs are more people are gravitating towards more of that, like light manual labor, more tech, and a little bit more sophisticated when it comes to positions, because there's a lot of people out there who are making money opening toys on YouTube, and kids see that stuff. So the last thing they want to do is go pick cases in a warehouse or get behind the wheel of an 18-wheeler. So
they're looking, and like I said, but they're also looking for ways that they can kind of embrace this stuff too, but embrace it with their own skill set, which is like a really crucial thing. How do I repurpose my skill set for a logistics or supply chain sort of job? Cody, unbelievably, we're out of time, but we wanted a chance for people to get to meet you. Promise us you'll come back so we can dig further in. As you can tell, Dave and I actually did dig into what you are digging these days, and we'd love to have you back, guys. Go to anztrucking.com, and I only keep saying that over the course of the rest of the show if you promise to join us again.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys just let me know. Love to be on again.
Thank you, sir. Guys, please check out Cody Koehler at anztrucking.com. He's got a terrific podcast. Right up my alley, by the way, Dave. My father and I worked in grocery stores all of our life, and had to learn a lot of skills on those floors. And I think a lot of the people who are going to start working in grocery stores moving forward are going to less be behind a register or in the aisle or in the warehouse, but doing all of it while doing less of the manual labor.